This is a story from December 12th, 1980. I was in 5th grade. This is from our 5th grade journal. We had to write something every day. I'm sure most kids have been through the same thing where you had to write something in a journal every day. But on 12/10/1980, I wrote the first thing I would ever write about computers and video games. This is entitled The Computer.
Into the vertical line, generation Atari. Into the vertical line, generation Atari.
So before I read this, I'm going to say I was 10 years old. I don't think I'd ever visited a computer store or a video game store because video game stores didn't exist. I don't think I'd ever seen computers in a store. And I obviously didn't own a computer at the time. I wouldn't own a computer for 3 more years. Wouldn't own a video game until the next Christmas. So this is really just some bullshit I pulled off the top of my head, and I don't know why. But it was in my 5th grade journal, and I found it, and here it is. The Computer. One day at noon, I went to buy an electronic game. I went to Tom's computer game store. In the store, there were thousands of electronic and computer games, but on one shelf that said Talking Back Computer Games, well, on that shelf was a game called Computerized Talking Back Video Game, and that was exactly what I wanted. So I took the game and bought it. On the game box, it said radio and color TV not included. So I just went and bought a radio and color TV. When I got home, I set up the game. This is how it works. You put in a game cartridge, you press for 2-player or 1, and then you press the start button. The computer will say, now for a great challenge, choose your weapons. And then you say the kind of weapon you want into the microphone. Then the play starts. If you pick up rifles, swords, or knives, you play man-to-man. If you pick tanks, ships, or planes, you play it with one of those. Well, that's about it. Goodbye. And that's all I knew about computer games in 1980. One note. After listening to this, I realized it kind of sounds like I was predicting generative AI back in 1980 used to create a computer game. That just seems weird to me. Also, I want to note that, yes, these are some of the worst stick figure drawings you've probably ever seen used to illustrate the story, as well as I used a few drawings from my 1970s and 80s school journals. But you know what? At least I didn't use generative AI to create them.
Generation Atari. Into the vertical line, generation Atari.